Hey Jack Squad, YouTube family and friends, how everybody doing? Hope you're making it happen for yourself. Um, I just watched the Mondays for what's this month? May 20th board meeting in Dalton, not Thornton, but Dalton, right? With Tiffany Henyard. I don't understand for the life of me really how anything has ever gotten done with the behavior that was displayed. She is not professional enough, right? Um, and she doesn't like when the board members go against her. And then it's like she has a temper tantrum, right? And said, y'all don't want to listen. And I think she thinks she's the smartest one in the room. I keep saying that, but every time I watch her, I realize that she thinks she's the smartest person in the room. And there's not really any compromise with her, And then when it's something that she can't overpower, she gets upset and talk to them like they're kids. Like, this thing here, I'm ready for it to end myself personally, because they're not going, they can't, now they were, I'm going to say arguing, over paying Delgado. Now, I thought Delgado had quit as a maid or something, right? But I guess they still owe him a balance. I don't know. And then there's several lawyers. There's lawyers for the village, and there's lawyers for the mayor. There's different lawyers. I don't understand all that. But since she wasn't going to pay the other lawyers, they weren't going to pay Delgado. And then they wanted to see what they were paying for. And it's like she don't want to show. But what I found interesting, when they put it up to vote with the trustees, Andrew Holmes voted with the mayor, of course, and then had a lot to say. And I'm thinking, the nerve of this Negro. The nerve. He said a lot to say. He stood up. He didn't stand up, but he had a lot to say. And to me, and the lady, the girl, I keep forgetting her name. I had wrote it down. That sits next to him. She's a staunch. Don't want Henyard there. She want explanations. She want paperwork, right? Every week they go toe to toe. This particular trustee that happens to sit next to Holmes, female, and to me, neither one of them, Henyard or him, they act like they haven't done things. So when they're talking in this meeting, like, well, what about the people? What about the residents? You're supposed to be asking yourself that, right? You especially, Mr. Essayer, right? I'm just looking at this like, am I in the Twilight Zone? Is this a whole nother world? Like, what's going on, right? And then he talked, and then she was saying, and he looked at her like, that would be too much. That would be too much for me. That would be too much for me, right? It's at a ridiculous level to me. And then the way Tiffany talks, and then he said something about his mama and her windows, and like, this thing it's sad, but it's kind of funny too. It's a little funny too, right? She has been allowed to run this village and the township the way she wanted to until it was discovered that the funds was being depleted, right? And now that the trustees want to know what's up and why we ain't gonna pay this and why we not gonna pay that, it is a problem for the mayor, right? And then she got a lot to say, and not in a professional way. Like, to me, when I'm listening to her, you would think you in somebody's living room having a conversation or in the backyard, get ready to fight, right? Like, it's on a ridiculous level to me. It's at a very ridiculous level. I'm going to need the feds to hurry up and do what they need to do. Either find her, through the investigation, find her guilty of some stuff and charge her, or either let her keep running it and they vote her out when the election comes. Because it's at a real ridiculous level. Very ridiculous level, right? I don't even, and then, I still see comments of people saying she the best mayor and all this. And I'm thinking, anybody, you could have done a lot of marvelous things. We see that now. People do wonderful things and they still commit criminal acts. Just because you commit criminal acts don't mean you ain't never did no good stuff in your life, right? And it just amazes me, right, that this has went on. They have dealt with this, right? Especially when she came in during the pandemic. People were at difficult times at that time, right? And found out that you took advantage of them folks and their money, and you was taking the Thornton money, putting it into Dalton after you depleted all of Dalton's money, right? And now, and so every time the trustees would vote on something, she'd say, now y'all hear this? See how they acted? Anyway, I just found that amazing. I just found that amazing, right? Because I was under the impression they didn't have a board meeting this week, so I didn't look for it. You know, we won't talk about it. It just happened to come down my timeline, and I watched it. I was like, this is absolutely a whole bunch of words, like weird, amazing, stupid. Like, you know, they got to either, the feds have to do what they're going to do, or when it's time to vote her out, I need to look that up. When it's, is it this going to be this fall or next year? They couldn't suffer through a whole nother year. Well, I think they are, though. I think she does have another year. I hope not, because it's just total madness to me. Total madness. I'm going to have to look that up and get back to y'all. When does she go? Anyway, y'all, have a good Friday. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye-bye. Wow. Just amazing.